So this mindset tool came from my pastors at Northside. They have an amazing family heritage, and Pastor Brian and Nancy Smith are the pastors there. And one day at the end of service, Sister Smith's father, Reverend Roughton, who's no longer here, he came up and he shared just like a quick word of encouragement. Now, I have been told since then that there is more to this like official quote of wherever this came from, but this is the way that he said it that day. Okay. So just so you know, as you're watching these with me, all of these little cuts and stops and breaks, it's because mom life. It's totally because of mom life. So this is why we try to do these in short clips for you. And you can always pause and cut and you know, you got to do what you got to do. Okay. So he said this. He said, good, better, best. Let me never rest until my good is better and my better is best. And when he said that day, it like fused to my bones. Something in me went, whoa, that's it. That's it. Like, it's so simple and yet so profound, but that's it. And Ephesians 3:14-21 is a prayer to strengthen your inner man. Ephesians 3:14-21 is a prayer to help you to strengthen your inner man by aligning it with God's Spirit. And it is ended by declaring God's great power to do immeasurably and abundantly more than all we can ask, think, or imagine. So it's time to start imagining. So this is how you're going to work the journal. There is a section in there that is for your good. There's a section in there that's for your better, and there's a section that's for your best. And so what you are going to do, most people start with the best, right? So you've already, because in this process, you're already beginning to identify those deep desires within you. And everything that you have been doing so far, I'm telling you, God is so good, and He orchestrated this entire program so that you can stack these things one on top of another and have real life change, right? So you take everything that you've already been working on, and you and God, you in prayer, write down, like, what is your very best? What do you really want out of life? Now, you can do this of your overall life. You can do this for each of your priorities, right? You can do this for some of the, maybe like the 3 priorities that you're focusing on right now. But write down what your best self looks like, who your best self is, what is she doing, what is she wearing, how's her haircut, what makeup is she wearing, does she have her hair thrown in a ball cap, and is she outside pushing her kids on the swing, is she like in a suit totally rocking the meeting and handling business? Like, who is your best self? And I want to just encourage you in this. Before you begin, take a big deep breath and exhale. And when you breathe in, take a few of those big deep breaths. And as you breathe in, say, thank you, Lord, that you are with me, that you are guiding me, that you are here directing me. And then when you breathe out, you release it. I release every preconceived idea that I have. I release every perception, every perspective, and I am completely open to everything that you have to say. I do not hold on to the things that I think that I can do, to the things that I think I'm capable of, but I really and fully 100% surrender to you and step in to hear from you and all that you have for me. And you fill it up. You may have to grab a journal page or flip it over and write on the back of it, but you fill that page up in as much detail as you can, feel as much emotion as you can, and you get clarity. Get clarity on who your best self is. And then what we do is we go to our good self. All right, who am I right now in this moment? And again, in this spirit of listening to the Lord, not making your own judgments about who you are, but listening to the Lord and letting him show you and convict you and show you even with grace. Because there are some of us who we are so easy on ourselves. Okay. We are not narcissistic at all, but I'm going to tell you there was a time where the Lord convicted me because I'm like, God, I haven't done anything wrong. I was going through one of the circumstances that played a really big role in creating the shift in me, right? And he just convicted me in this moment, and because I'm like, I haven't done anything wrong. I do nothing wrong. Like that was oh, Jesus, help me. Thank you, Lord, for your grace. That was a real thought that I had. I did nothing wrong because I do nothing wrong. I have a great attitude all the time. I have not been carrying any of this yuckiness. I didn't do anything. Okay, now that we've all laughed for a minute, some of you will relate to me, but some of you will not. Some of you judge yourself so flippin' harshly, mama, and I'm telling you right now, so point my finger. Grace upon grace upon grace. God's grace is unending. His love never failing. He poured out his grace on you, and it is sufficient. You are so much more than you give yourself credit for. And there is so much good in you. Take a deep breath and give yourself grace. So we have to stay in this mindset of let go of the perceptions and stay in the grace that God has for us. Hey, sissy, run to the bathroom. I'll be right there, okay? You turn on the light and I'll be right there. Turn on the light and get up there. I'll be right there. Okay, and so now you have written down where you are with the Lord's help, removing and getting rid of all of the pressure and perceptions and negativity. And all of the beliefs that you didn't do anything. And so now what your better self is this is your goals. This is where some of those SMART goals that came from your Moments Matter and that Moments Matter journal, this is where some of those come into play. So think of like what is, okay, and so I want to challenge you in this too, okay? This is just a little freebie for you, but I won't get too much into this because I don't want it to take too long. When you're looking at your better self, don't look from your good self looking up to your best self. Look at your better self journal from the viewpoint, from the perspective, from the spiritual atmosphere of your best self. What steps did you take to get to where you are? Write those down and do those. Because so many times we are looking up at this giant mountain, right? Okay, so we're looking up at this giant mountain from down here and we're saying, how do we get up there? And there are so many different paths and winds and tricks and things that we're like, I don't know what to do. So when you're looking from the top down, hindsight's 20/20, right? You can see, look from that self down, make those moves.